Let's start with this, for example. Let me see here. I am not prepared and I apologize. There it is. All right. Yeah, so this is something January 17th that's actually going to be happening tomorrow. Why we need alphabet Christian leaders and where we find them. So this is coming up tomorrow, and it's being put on by the Center for Faith.com/webinars. Now, if we read more about the post, this goes along with it. It says Christian sexuality. This is the group connected to it. Free webinar, why we need the alphabet Christian leaders and where to find them. If you're part of a church or Christian organization that holds a historically Christian understanding of marriage, what that should read is, if you're part of a Christian organization that sticks to what God told us to do, you notice how they like to sneak around that a little bit? Historically Christian understanding of marriage and sexual ethics. This does not, listen to this, this does not mean all your leaders need to be heterosexual. This is legit, and this has got the Christian tag slapped on it. In fact, having leaders who experience attraction to the same sex or gender dysphoria and who are open about their experience and their commitment to following Jesus can be a powerful way of fostering discipleship for your entire community. Why does this kind of leadership matter, and how do we find and elevate voices like this? So not only are we endorsing it, but now we want to elevate them in the church. That's equity, y'all. It's not equality, it's equity. No, we have to elevate these people. We talk in this webinar with Art Pereira, Director of Events and Partnerships at Revoice. Art also leads Revoice's Reach Cohorts, a program designed to develop and equip alphabet Christian leaders. It's just, there's no such thing, who are pursuing celibacy or mixed orientation marriage. Now, we're going to get into that in just a second, because what on earth does that mean? Now, you notice how I said there's no such thing as a Christian alphabet person. Now, there are some who have turned to Jesus who struggle with it. They've been like, they've had that attraction, that sinful attraction in the past, and it's something that they're still trying to overcome. They're actively repenting against it. That's cool. You are working towards that. You are trying to be better. But just accepting it and elevating it and being, hey, I'm gay and I'm a Christian. Now, this is being put on by a guy by the name of Preston Sprinkle, who is head of Christian sexuality as well as the Center for Faith, Sexuality, and Gender. The goal is to alter the church to allow and endorse unnatural alphabet agenda in both behavior and leadership. They're trying to endorse it and elevate it, as the thing says. And they say it's absolutely okay for you to be gay as long as you just don't physically engage in anything, which is that promotion of celibacy. But as we go into this a little bit more, you'll see how that's a problem, because Sprinkle has promoted speakers such as Art Pereira, the guy that we just mentioned in that little post there, who is sexually attracted to another guy, moved in with him, and created a marriage-like relationship while claiming to be celibate. There's a video, I'm not going to show it to you, I'm going to save you guys that, where it's the two of them sitting together explaining how they came together and they created a home together with marriage-like decisions and whatnot, but they just don't act on anything. But it also gets a little bit more distorted, because while Art is gay and doing all that, the guy that he moved into with claims to be straight and is planning to marry a woman. And then Art goes on to talk about how when they get married, she'll move in with them, and all three of them will make home as well as marriage decisions together. You see the problem? I really shouldn't have to spell it out for you. This is what this Preston Sprinkle guy is promoting. This is his whole, what he calls ministry, is about getting churches to accept this, telling people it's okay to do things just like Art was describing. If that's not enough, Sprinkle has hosted a flaming homosexual, and I specifically use that term because this dude is loud and proud about it, who proudly proclaims to be gay, love boys, as he said, but he says he loves Jesus and it's okay as long as he remains celibate. So you guys have heard the thing where it's, well, who's the guy? I can't remember. Ray Comfort. I think it was Ray Comfort. He goes around and he asks people in the street and says, well, have you committed murder? No. Have you committed adultery? No. Well, have you ever hated somebody? Or have you ever lusted after a woman? Well, yeah. Well, that's sin. Just because you're not actively, physically doing it, but you're loud and proud about it, that's sin. That's sin. Simple. The mental game is still there. That's why whenever I talk about how we're human and we sin every day, literally every single one of us sin every day, because we've had some type of thought pop into my head, or our heads. I'll just use me as an example. I'll call myself out. I've had some type of thought, whether it's a pride thing, a covetousness thing, a lustful thing. I've lied even to myself about things. I have sinned. But what Sprinkle is teaching people is it's okay to be gay as long as you just don't physically do anything. You see the problem? You see how you're warping things? See how you're saying it's okay to partake in an unnatural thing as long as it's just not physical? Well, the dude moved in with the other one and they plan on having I don't remember the word, but 3 people in a marriage type of deal. Sorry, sometimes words just slip out of my head. I can't think of it. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's unnatural. That is destruction to God's order of things. Get to that in just a second, because that's one of the keys to understanding what on earth mystery religion is trying to destroy. It has to do with God's order. Now, it's also worth noting that endorsers, as well as those who have participated and been involved with Sprinkle's little thing here, include Matt Chandler, Jackie Hill Perry, who has teamed up with, well, she comes from and has teamed up with Bethel. She teaches at their Hogwarts School of Black Magic. Francis Chan, I've called that dude out. I don't know how many times. He likes to work with people like Benny Hinn and people like that. And a guy by the name of Gabe Lyons as well. Now, I don't necessarily know Gabe Lyons, but I know he's a part of a big network. So maybe you guys know who that is. These people have endorsed and or participated in Sprinkle's little thing here. The destruction of God's order is part of the priorities of mystery religion. It's one of the main elements to make this work. Removing the specifically designed order of the church and the household is needed to make this properly work. What is God's order? He designed it specifically, and I've talked about this before. I don't have the slides to show you this time, but I'll just explain it to you. It's the patriarchy. You know how we have like all the war on patriarchy out there, the feminism, how DEI is against the patriarchy, all these things are against the patriarchy. That's God's order of things. Christ sits on top, then it's the man, then it's the woman, then it's the child. Now, God designed the family this way because he designed man and woman with different skill sets. They're equal in value, but they are different skill sets. The man's the hunter-gatherer. He's the one who protects. He's supposed to be the first one in when it comes to danger and protecting the woman. That's why the woman stands behind him. But he also looks up to Christ, who sits at the very top. He is the one who goes and worships the Lord. He is the one who's supposed to direct the household according to what Jesus wants. And then it's the child. But you'll notice, you look at the household today where it's trying to diminish the woman or diminish the man, raise up the woman, remove Christ, and the child just does whatever it wants to. That's mystery religion. Feminism movement and all these things is mystery religion. The alphabet agenda is mystery religion. Doing this is mystery religion. It is destroying the order that God has specifically designed based on the strengths and weaknesses of both man and woman. And when you convolute that, everything falls apart. Look at what's going on out in the world today. Alphabet agenda everywhere. Kids running the household. The homes without fathers is just absurd. I think it's like 1 in 4 homes don't have a father in it. That's what they want. That's what mystery wants. So when you have things like this is clearly going against the structure that God created. You'll find that in was it 1 Timothy 2 and 3. Because it's the same order that God gives for the household is the same order God gives for the church. And we're going to talk about the church in just a second.